What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hoping everyone is having a legendary day. It's time. Unfortunately, it's our time to go through and see how wrong we all were with our early beginning of the season predictions. Ooh, I've looked at some of them, and some of these ones really definitely didn't age well. We have Jason waiting in the green room. We're also waiting for Brian to go ahead and hop in. But before we get started with that today, we want to remind everybody to listen to the end of the show to get a special coupon code to save 10% on all For the Faithful, By the Faithful apparel till the start of NFR Season 6 in March, exclusively at NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop. Get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. Not only do you save 10% off your purchase, but it really does help out the show. Link is available in the description of this podcast or video, or you see it scrolling across your screen right now. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio to save on all your theater, concert, and promo tickets, or theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang-up job doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without further ado, let's get the show cracking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the man with the master plan, the social media master himself, out of Facebook jail for we all know.
Give it a week.
Yeah, we all know Jason ain't gonna stay out of Facebook jail too long.
I'll be in it before the end of this episode. I'm surprised I didn't get banned today with some of the shit I was posting.
I know, right? I mean, look, bro. I will say this, and I will go to the grave. Zuckerberg has something against you, bro, because I saw that Cry Girl meme literally posted. Like, it seemed like there were points through that day that I literally all I saw
it was everywhere
was that meme.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, for you to literally get it put in Facebook jail for something I literally have seen on my timeline all day is fucking ridiculous.
But it was bully because I'm a bully.
Right. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, all right. So
I spent 5 months out of last year in the Facebook jail. That's all.
That's crazy, actually, to really think about that. Yeah, there was a good couple weeks that you weren't able to do the halftime show or anything. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Happen to do my little, halftime ritual, whatever, smoke my blunt, take a piss, take some blood pressure medication, whatever I got to do and everything. Refill beer, get the show done, and end it before halftime ends. Yeah, bro, I got to do appreciation for you to somehow to get all that shit done in 8 minutes. That's new respect for you, bro. After having to do it for a lot of the season, but I know we're gonna go ahead and get into our season predictions. And see how horribly we did with that. But just a few of your, because we hadn't talked to you in a while, a few of your thoughts on the overall season and the playoffs and all that.
I mean, obviously we're disappointed because the team actually was really good at times. I mean, we looked like arguably a top 5 team, which I guess since we made it to the championship game, we were a top 5 team.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were points in this time. It's like, who is actually going to beat us? And I know things went back and forth between Jimmy and Trey and Jimmy. And at the end of the day, this team is built to win now. I think you can't deny that. Right now, this team, to whereas, especially long term, we've got granted, there's some contracts coming up. Some guys, obviously, it's going to flip over a little bit. But
Yeah.
this team is good now. It's not going to be good in 2 years when Trey finally is ready to go.
Yeah.
This team is going to help Trey get better faster because of what they can do to support him. Trey isn't necessarily going to make the team better. I think this team will help Trey get better sooner rather than later because, we're not going to be throwing those quote unquote, I forget who made up the term, but I love it now, the hospital balls to people
Yeah.
where they're getting busted up over the middle. They're not, that kind of stuff will happen. But the idea is, but overall, I mean, it was a fun run. There was other things that went on, you know, like for me personally, behind the scenes in it, but I had fun. It was a good season. It's an NFC Championship game. Yeah, we lost the Rams, and there was so much hype around that game and everything else. We basically took that stadium over. What up, Brian?
What up, Brian?
But, but yeah, overall, it was a good run. I mean, but it definitely was bipolar as hell. Like there were some days where I was drinking a whole lot because I was depressed, and then there was other days where I was drinking because we were having a damn good time.
Honestly, it was. I think it was so funny because I literally remember doing the episode after the Cardinals game with you. Or no, I remember doing before the Cardinals game, where we're basically put it and said, "Hey, this season has to come down to one of these next two games." Like I remember telling you, we have to win one of these next two games, or there's no season. Like the season's done. Put in Trey, whatever, right? And I remember pretty much telling you it looked like it was the Cardinals game that we were going to have to win because the Yams looked unstoppable. Whatever. Obviously, hats off to them, Super Bowl champions, whatever. We'll see y'all in another 20 years for Ring 3 and get the fuck out my face. But I'll still take a 6-1 record over the last 7 games against y'all. Like, calm down, Junior. But and literally this just the season just turning and just flipping like that. And my girl was telling me, she goes, babe, I literally, because I asked her, I was like, hey, you've officially made it through your first season as my lady, as Mrs. Niner Faithful. How you feeling? And she goes, I think I got the full scope, 2 and 5, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, depressed, wanting to pretty much crawl up and die every day, and then screaming and running around the neighborhood screaming Niner. She goes, I got the full spectrum of what it's going to be like dating you during football season this season. I said, hey baby, I mean, overall I'm with you. Like, look, if at the beginning of the season, if you would have told me we went through what we went through this season, the ups and the downs, like Jason said, Trey versus Jimmy, all those things, and still pulled off an NFC Championship game and a game, let's all be real, when we went up 17-7, I don't know a Niner fan that wasn't ready to book their ticket to LA again. To put, I don't know a Niner fan that wasn't like, okay, yeah, this is how it goes against the Yams. They'll play us tough, whatever, and then we'll slowly pull away. And then, that's just the way I thought it was going to be. One more person, and then we'll get into our predictions. Brian, we haven't talked to you. Well, we were able to talk to you through the post-game show. But your overall thoughts on the season this year?
I like to think about it like facing adversity, and this team has done nothing but that. And just to capitalize off of a 3-5 record in the beginning, just amazing how this team just stuck by each other the whole time, never losing, faith. And it's a unique group. I like them a lot. And
I agree with you. I think that, look, I think two things can be equally true. Was it a legendary season? No. Do I think some people are hyping this season up? Yeah, especially what our expectations are. Look, this ain't the Detroit Lions. This ain't Cincinnati. This will be considered one of Cincinnati's greatest seasons ever in their history. Literally. It'll be considered one of the greatest seasons they've ever had in their history. We are a different standard. That's what happens when you have 5 championships and 16 Hall of Famers. But before we get any further actually in the show, let's all give a round of applause and a big congratulations to Mr. Bryant Young for making the Hall of Fame. Well-deserved, BY. I shared the little video with Charles Haley coming and giving him the knock and everything. I literally just captioned it by saying, I'm not crying, you're crying. Like, obviously, maybe not for you, Brian. You're a lot younger than Brian, Jason, and I. But BY was my dude. BY was that man for me. BY was what the definition of a San Francisco 49er is. Loyalty, spending all 14 years of his Hall of Fame career with the Niners. Dedication. The man literally almost had his leg amputated and came back less than a year later and played at a Pro Bowl, all-pro level. Excellence. And the man's a Super Bowl champion. I remember he was the last one from the 94 team on the Niners for years until he retired. He was the last one.
Stuck around for a minute too.
Yeah, he was rookie year. 94 was his rookie year. And so to me, there's no better. I had the fortunate privilege of, I don't want to say really meeting him, because it wasn't like we had a conversation. He was just, shaking people's hands and giving people fist bumps while we were sitting in the gold mine, the Cardinals game, which was the one where he got put into the Niner Ring of Honor and into the Edward DeBartolo Senior Hall of Fame. But, as a person who got to shake his hand, grew up watching him, I had a BY jersey. Go on to my Facebook if you don't believe me. I actually at the Pier 39 in San Francisco. I just bought my Niner blanket. Matter of fact, if y'all don't believe me, I just bought the Niner blanket that I still have to this day, and I'm wearing my BY jersey. So I couldn't happen to a better person. I think that honestly, out of all the Hall of Famers that us the faithful talk about, that are eligible right now, being Bryant Young, Patrick Willis, and Roger Craig. Besides Roger Craig, I think BY is the most deserving. I think BY deserves to be in the Hall of Fame before Patrick Willis. I love Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis is my number 3 all-time favorite defender, next to BY and Ronnie Lott are 1A and 1B, just because you always have to have Ronnie up there. And then Patrick Willis is literally like a millimeter, behind him. But BY had more of a Hall of Fame career than Patrick Willis.
Well, Patrick, because it was short. If
yes.
Willis had played 14 years at the level he did, then it would probably be straight up even.
Yeah, he would. No, honestly, if Patrick Willis would have kept up his career trajectory, I would say for even 10 years, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He was,
the only issue
Patrick Willis
is
didn't
the
retire early. I don't think there's anybody to believe that he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and
that's the only knock anybody has against him is the time.
It's longevity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is definitely longevity. But look, I'll put it to you this way. I saw Richard Sherman's. I don't know if y'all saw Richard Sherman's comments on whether Matt Stafford should be in the Hall of Fame or anything like that. But I'll completely, if Matthew Stafford makes it in the Hall of Fame before Patrick Willis does, I will literally boycott the Hall of Fame forever. If Matthew Stafford they even sniffs the Hall of Fame before Patrick Willis does. I'm sorry. Call me biased, call me whatever you will. But okay, so
let's see how many one Super Bowl win quarterbacks are actually in the Super Bowl.
I'd be curious about that. Steve, I know Steve is.
Okay, Steve. Yeah,
Steve. Doug Williams isn't. That's actually, I'll look that up. And we'll talk about that on next week's show, because I'm actually really curious about that. That's a good question, because a lot of the ones that come to your mind, Phil Simms, Terry Bradshaw, Joe, obviously are multiple. Dan Marino never won one. Doug Williams isn't in one.
Marino just put up stupid stats, though.
Yeah, Marino is just put up. Marino is, to me, anybody who tells you that it's all about the quarterback, and the quarterbacks are what drive football teams, I point to Dan Marino, because if you just had to have a quarterback to win the Super Bowl, the Dolphins should have won more Super Bowls than we did.
Yeah, they should have been damn near undefeated every year.
Yeah, they should have been so it's not just so I will admit, is Joe the greatest quarterback to ever live? Yes. Did he benefit from having Jerry Rice a lot of his career? Yes. Did he
20 Hall of Famers around?
Yeah. Did he benefit from a very, very extremely underrated defense? Did he benefit from having Ronnie Lott pretty much there his whole Niner career, and Charles Haley and Hacksaw Reynolds and Bill Romanowski, and the list goes on and on and on. So we'll go ahead and we'll start rookie to watch. I went ahead and went Talanoa Hufanga, Jason went Ambry Thomas, and Brian went Trey Sermon. You know, I
We were
think
all right in certain aspects of it.
yeah. I think look, I think Huff had a great season. Did he have a superstar season? Did he have a Pro Bowl rookie season? Did he? Oh my God, we got the answer at strong safety. We could just let Jaquaski Tart rock. No, he didn't. But for a 5th round pick, that they said essentially all the things I heard about him were how he couldn't play from scrimmage, and he was going to be a liability in coverage. The man, let's be real, the man made probably the biggest special teams play in team history. Probably, arguably, one of the biggest touchdowns of this season. And I don't remember too many times where, yeah, you could say there were scheme mistakes or rookie mistakes, but I don't remember seeing Talanoa Hufanga where it's just, oh, he wasn't even in the same zip code as the receiver or the running back. So that's what gives me hope for him for the future, is that he's got that experience now, and I want to bring back Jaquaski Tart. I know that, short-term memory people are going to say, obviously dropping the pick, was that was devastating, but I respect him because he manned up. He went on Twitter right after and said, I deserve the criticism. Bring it. I deserve it. Go ahead. Talk your shit. I deserve it. I had the lifetime of a dream, a childhood dream literally right in my hands, and dropped it. I deserve everything, but I will not let it define me. And honestly, I can't think of a more appropriate answer for a player to have after a mistake. Let's be real. Very few people talk. I don't know the corner's name, but the game I became a Niner fan. How do you think that corner for Cincinnati that almost picked off Joe, literally the play before JT caught the touchdown? How do you think that corner feels? He literally had a chance to bring a city a championship and beat Joe Montana in the Super Bowl. Joe hit him right in the chest, and he dropped it. So it's not about the adversity that you face in life. It's about how you bounce back. And I think Jaquaski Tart's going to bounce back. So if we brought Jaquaski Tart back on a 2-year deal, vet minimum, 2-year deal, and said, hey, we'll take his injury proneness because we got Huff, and maybe go sign a veteran or, a 2nd-round pick. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they would have us take a safety with our 2nd-round pick if we don't get a first for Jimmy, which I don't think we will. Yeah.
Oh, also, we also had that safety, Travarius Moore.
Coming off of Achilles. I'm really, you know what? I hadn't forgot about Travarius Moore, but I almost kind of did forget about him just because, he obviously didn't play this season and everything. But that's a great point. I'm excited to see how Travarius, because let's be real, Travarius Moore could have very well took Jaquaski Tart's job this season. The Niners probably weren't going to come out and say it, but it was going to be an open competition for the strong safety position, especially with Jaquaski Tart coming back from his turf toe. A lot of forget. Shit, I think it was, didn't he miss majority of camp with the turf toe? I want to say it was like majority of camp that he missed, or maybe it was off season. I want to say there was some point where he missed a lot of time that Travarius Moore could have very well took his job. So Jason, your thoughts on your rookie to watch, Ambry Thomas?
He started off slow as hell. I know he took a lot of shit. And I don't think it was all deserved. You want someone who's drafted that high to play, or at least have a bigger impact sooner.
Yeah.
But he did take a year off because of the whole COVID thing and all that. So maybe between like him and Aaron Banks, maybe they weren't in shape. And I'll give you, okay, you didn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's like when he finally got a chance, he started playing good. And just like with Hufanga did, they both had their issues that showed up with rookie mistakes, but they got better every time they, and like I said, yes, they gave up,
they were
Thomas
clearly
gave up that
targeted
one
in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. But he was still standing his ground against when
Yeah,
he gave that
he did
touchdown
back
up
there.
to OBJ.
Mhm.
What else do you want? OBJ made a great call. You cannot ask
That's
him to
OBJ.
do a damn thing. Yeah. So it's like as the season got longer and both of them got more and more playing time overall, they got better. Besides, like I said, the rookie mistakes, I'm not worried about. You'll learn from them, and they seem to learn from them for the most part. Just like I honestly think we stunted his growth, him and Diamador's growth,
Yep.
by getting Josh Wilson or excuse me,
Josh Norman. Yeah.
Josh Norman,
Yeah.
and Trey. What's his? I can't think of his name off the top.
Trey,
Trey Kirkpatrick.
Yeah,
Trey
Trey
Kirkpatrick.
Kirkpatrick. Yeah, Trey
But
Kirkpatrick.
getting those two guys who just, I mean, if Norman wasn't getting a freaking fumble, he was getting burnt every freaking game.
Yeah,
every
I mean, let's be real. He subscribed to the Richard Sherman philosophy, which is I'm going to hold you every play, and they're not going to call it every play.
Yeah,
that's
like
basically
said,
what he did. And
next season, I think he should be the number 2 behind Mosley. I think though, if we have those two starting,
so you're comfortable with Embry and E-Man being our starters next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that, and I'm with you, Jason. Is that what even when he was having his issues, you saw he was in position. So it wasn't like he didn't belong in the club. You saw that he can stick with NFL. It wasn't like they were in a different zip code and he was getting burnt like toast. And everything like that. And so, but that happens to every corner.
Exactly.
So what encourages me about Ambry Thomas and why I agree with you that I am comfortable with him being a starter next to E-Man is because he did get better with time. You saw that he has the athletic profile and he did not back away from a challenge. He didn't. You saw that. I believe it was Matt Stafford went and sought him out after the NFC Championship game, and they were talking. And I bet you they were talking about him telling him, "Hey, you know what? You got a chance to be in this league. Like you definitely look. Are we gonna have the 2 best corners in the league next year with E-Man and Ambry Thomas? No. But do we have serviceable corners? Yes. And I'm not mad at that because what is our philosophy? Our philosophy is, hey, you know what? We don't give a damn pretty much what we have in the secondary because our pass rush is going to get to you before you even really have a chance. That's our philosophy as a defense. When did the season turn around defensively? The season turned around defensively when you saw the pass rush marry with the coverage. The pass rush started getting after the quarterback. You started to seeing basically it being more than, hey, Nick Bosa, save us or we don't got shit as far as a pass rush. And you saw Arden Key come up. You saw Jordan Willis started to make a little bit of plays. And you started to see that depth. DJ Jones, I swear to God, DJ Jones is priority. I wouldn't say number 1. Obviously, signing Nick Bosa and Debo are priority number 1 in the offseason. But priority number 2 or 3 is to sign DJ Jones. I put him up. DJ Jones and Laken Tomlinson are the 2 veterans I don't think we can let walk off this football team.
There is a report Laken's going to be signed by the end of the week. I'll have to find
good.
it. I saw something on there that he's supposed to be signed by the end of the week.
Okay, good, because literally the man's I think missed 1 game as a Niner, if that. I don't even think he's missed a game as a Niner. And I would dare say to say we have the best left side of offensive line in the NFL. I do not see anybody who comes close to our left side on the NFL. I fully put full trust that Trey's blind side is protected. Trey's not going to get blindside hit. Okay, and then Brian, your thoughts on Trey Sermon? That one is a little bit of an interesting one this year. Definitely didn't happen what we thought he would.
Like as far as like in the facility, I'm not 100% sure what's happening in the running back room, but just was unexpected, honestly. Especially because Raheem Mostert was out, and Wilson, you definitely expected a running back to step up and Unfortunately, I picked the wrong rookie.
Yeah. I mean, we all did.
And
We were all
yeah.
praising you for that pick.
yeah, and then he props to Elijah Mitchell, man. But I
Save the season.
definitely expect him to have a growth because just the connection with like he had with Justin Fields in Ohio State, that kind of mobile quarterback with Trey Lance coming in. He just didn't get as much as carries, and then once he did, like in the Green Bay game, I mean, it just didn't look like a typical third round running back because just wasn't getting it done.
I think
Something was off.
What I heard is that he just wasn't attacking it like Elijah. He just wasn't, because he wasn't a get it and go type of runner in college.
He was more of a power back.
Yeah, he was more of a power back. And so I'm curious to see, to me, how Trey Sermon, I want to do a little bit more research and think about it a little bit more. But I'm always curious to see him be my sophomore to watch. He's the one that I'm really thinking that there's a little bit of a ego here where Bobby Turner, that was the running back Bobby Turner wanted. From everything I heard, Robert Turner was like, get him here. I want him. And that man knows running backs. But I think what I really literally think that before the fifth round, Kyle Shanahan just needs to be like kicked out of the draft room or whatever. We do not need to take a running back before round 5. Okay, I'll give you round 5. Really, I'd prefer 6, 7 undrafted. But I better not see this team draft another running back before the 5th round again in the Lynchahan era. I think that
it's going to happen.
No, I know it is. It's going to piss me off when it does, because we're going to end up signing some freaking diamond in the rough from some like unknown school in Alaska or something like that that's going to come and rush for 3,000 yards or something like. It's going to literally be crazy. Okay, team MVP. Now this is an interesting one. I picked Nick Bosa, Jason picked George Kittle, and Brian picked Jimmy. I'll start off with Nick Bosa. I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with these writers. How does Nick Bosa not get one vote? I'm not talking about winning the award, whatever. Give it to a fucking quarterback, whatever. Suck my dick. But you're not going to give Nick Bosa one vote for comeback player of the year? You're not going to get Nick Bosa first team All-Pro? I'm confused on what more the man has to do, which, by the way, coming off a torn ACL. I don't know. Like, I thought a lot of that, hey, Nick Bosa looks better. Hey, Nick Bosa looks better. Matt Mayoka was talking about, hey, a lot of the rumors coming out of Niner training camp is Bosa's going to be back better than ever. Okay, what are they supposed to say? He looks like garbage? Like, you know, but
then you look at the man. He looks.
Yeah, Nick Bosa got better. Nick Bosa, I would say, out of the two Bosa brothers, I would definitely rather have Nick. By far. I don't even think it's close.
Well, Joey's more stable. Nick is the better player.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I mean.
Okay.
You take in spurts, who's the better player? It's by far, it's Nick. But Joey's obviously the more stable of the two.
Oh, we just lost Brian. We'll get him back here on. But yeah, I'll see that.
Did I tell you my reason why I think he didn't get a vote?
Since it's the day after Valentine's Day, we'll use a love reference. Joey Bosa is the cute girl that, you know, she does your laundry. She cooks decent. You know, she's a good woman. Nick Bosa is the hot blonde, the trophy wife. You know, the hot blonde that you're gonna want when you're going through your midlife crisis. You know, type. That I think that's the very fairly good analogy. Jason, your thoughts on the man that is not human, that is a freaking cyborg. I don't care what his birth certificate says, Mr. George Kittle.
before George, let me say this is I don't know if I shared this with you guys. The reason why I think Bosa didn't get any votes and why he didn't, anything at all. And I think it has to do with his political stance. Look, we all know that
Ridiculous.
Bosa is a very big Trump supporter. Like I said, and this is not politics, but I think that with a media, especially in sports, that's very liberal based, I think nobody voted for Nick because of that. I could be talking out of my ass.
And the issues with his girlfriend, which I want to say this. I want to say this as a black man who is very pro-black in my stances. Those who follow me on social media, my personal social media, know very well I am not shy about hiding my pro-black views. I fully support Cap, all that 9 yards. But do I respect some of Nick Bosa's viewpoints? No. Do I know? I know plenty of people. Look, my dad's from Florida. I know plenty of white people that are exactly like Nick Bosa. So do I feel that Nick Bosa is racist? No. I think I fully agree with you, Jason. You hadn't shared that, but I agree with you. That makes sense to me. And honestly, as somebody who's not a Trump supporter myself, I'm not a Trump supporter. But as an American citizen with plenty of family who's fought for our rights, I will die on my pedestal for Nick Bosa to have the views that he has personally, politically. And I'm sorry, I don't believe a locker room like the Niners locker room would embrace Nick Bosa the way that they do.
If all the shit that said about him was true.
True.
So yeah.
Like
I said, that's just my guess, and I could be talking out of my ass, but I honestly feel his conservative beliefs and being a Trump supporter and how his girlfriend is what cost him, more likely because of Joe Burrow's season, he was going to win it one way or the other. Yeah. But to not get a single vote, I think that's insane.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I just want to throw that out there for as far as
I fully agree with you on that, bro.
George, it's weird because George was George. But it's like we didn't target him as much.
Yeah, I really felt that too.
But you also think about it, he stayed in a lot more to block.
Mm-hmm.
And his blocking, you could probably pay the man to be the best, a tackle in the league, and he could probably, he'd probably be a top 10 tackle in the league with as good as he blocks. Just tell him to put 50 pounds on, and we've got a better version of
Mcglinchey. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So there's that. But I mean,
draft Kyle Pitt, tell George to put on 50 pounds, and there you go.
Yeah. So it's hard because he's still George. He's still the locker leader, all that kind of stuff.
Our mascot.
Yeah. And I don't think he played bad. And he dropped, oddly enough, 2 balls, which he never drops, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think he necessarily played bad. He just didn't have the highlights, like a Jason Kelsey or Darren Walker. So it's like the opportunities weren't there for him to have the type of season he's had for the last couple ones because he was used in a different way. You're not going to see Kelsey pulled in on the inside, blocking down on defensive ends and tackles.
Yeah.
And pancake him. But that's just not going to happen. You might get a little bit of that out of like Darren Walker, but not at the same consistency. So overall, I think Kittle had a solid season, but he's looked down at by some just simply because the numbers aren't there. But I have no problem with where Kittle was.
I do feel that we lost Brian again.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree that it did seem. See, this is why you can't scoreboard watch, because I think that if you scoreboard watched or I shouldn't say scoreboard, sorry, box score watched. I believe if you box score watched George Kittle this year, you would think he had a down season. But if you watch the games, you see the impact this man has on the football team, both psychologically, being the Don't worry about it, Brian. We'll go ahead and we'll take care of it, bro. Don't trip about it. I believe that if you watch the Niner games and football, you know that George Kittle is probably one of the most important players on this football team. And the run game struggles for some of this season, I think were greatly attested. And let's be real. Look, though he'll never talk about it because he's a man and he's just the definition of a football player. But George Kittle was not healthy all year. I'm sorry. Like, you just can't convince me George.
He hasn't been healthy for the last 3 years.
Never going to be healthy.
Yeah, the way he plays, he hasn't been healthy damn near any time he's been in the league.
Yeah, I just that man's dealing with something. If this was like hockey, where at the end of the season every year in hockey you hear about all the elements players have been playing with and everything like that, I bet you some of us would throw up when we realize some of the stuff that George Kittle plays with every Sunday to put it down for the red and gold. All right, I guess we'll skip Brian with Jimmy right now, and we'll do
that's
that.
A whole different show.
That just real quick, a few thoughts on Jimmy. Jimmy Garoppolo was what we thought he was going to be. I don't think Jimmy was a game manager. He was basically a Alex Smith. Could he have played better? Yeah. Do you put some of the fact that we weren't playing in the Super Bowl on him? Yeah. But I put that as the whole offense is a struggle, including Kyle, which is a little, I don't want to say concerning, but a little.
It bothers the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it's a little. I'll put it to you this way. Like I was telling you before we went on air, I have a boy I went to high school with, a big Niner fan and everything, and he's fire everybody, and I looked at him and I said, look, we all know in Lynchahan I trust. We made the T-shirts for FFBF. I believe in Lynchahan. I do believe that they will bring us multiple championships. But I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of Kyle Shanahan's big blots on his resume, both as OC and head coach, have all pretty much came in the same way, which is late third / early fourth quarter, big game, collapses. Now, you could point it now in all those games. You could easily, like for example, the New England Falcons Super Bowl. You could say, hey, you know what? They get a couple first downs there. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady comes back. But, you could also point to the fact that, hey, you know what? Why don't the defense not give up 25 unanswered points? Super Bowl 54. Yeah, we could all. I won't blame Shanahan for an individual play because to me, he dialed up the game-winning play. Emmanuel Sanders was wide open.
Yeah. Jimmy did it.
Yeah. Jimmy just overthrew it. Okay, so Kyle Shanahan drew up the game-winning play. He had his Bill Walsh moment. The quarterback just didn't come through for him. Now, if you want to look at the overall game of Super Bowl 54, yeah, you do put that somewhat on Kyle Shanahan. This NFC Championship game, yeah, I put a lot of that on Kyle Shanahan. I put a lot of that on the offense and say, yeah, I put it on a lot on the defense at first, but you brought up that good point. Well, you know what? If the offense sustains a drive or two in the first quarter, maybe they're not dog tired in the fourth quarter. Because the defense was literally gassed by the time the fourth quarter came. Like, it pretty much, the offense was going to have to run out the clock. If the Yams kept on getting the ball, it was clear that they were going to at least tie that football game.
Check this out. This is where my issues with Kyle's play calling this year, where he actually he outthinks himself.
He does.
So we had this awesome play call where we are pulling big ass fucking Trent Williams.
A play that literally should be illegal.
I'm running the other way if that man is running at me. I am terrified if Trent Williams is in motion coming at my ass.
Like
we ran that 4 times.
Not like a motion where he's coming in motion and then
full
stopping.
Speed.
Full speed motion coming at your ass.
Okay, we ran that 4 times.
I don't want none of that.
We ran behind it once. Guess what was the only time that got any positive yardage? The one time we followed
ran behind him.
Like, why are you outthinking this? You have fucking Trent Williams. Follow him.
The third down play. Now, okay, I need to ask your opinion about this and I'm sorry we're all over the place on the show, but Jason and I haven't had a opportunity to show in a little bit, so we're kind of
in Facebook jail.
Yeah, because my boy gets in Facebook.
Because I think if I'm on Facebook, it's just gonna turn the whole thing off. So
yeah, it's just gonna shut us down. and most of our viewers do come from Facebook. By the way, probably sometime in a couple of days, I'm gonna holler at you. I got some ideas for our social, but that's all fair. But I think that I'm not too mad at the 4th and 2, not going for it on 4th and 2.
I am.
When you look at the sequence of what happens, I'm not mad with the 3-point lead. I'm not mad at that. I understand the logic of that. What I don't understand the logic of it is that that you run that play that we're talking about, and the highest paid left tackle in NFL history, a man who's a Ferrari the size of a fucking semi that moves like a Ferrari, and you don't run behind him with probably the biggest third down of the season of his coaching tenure, maybe. And you don't run it there. I don't care that they have Aaron Donald. I don't care that they have Jalen Ramsey. I don't care who the fuck they have on that defense. I'm putting my faith in my left tackle who, let's be real, I've heard from people in the Niner organization that Trent Williams was going to KC until Kyle stepped in and said, no, you get it done. The Niners were out on Trent Williams. And then Trent called Kyle, said, look, you want me, put your foot down, and basically say, hey, I'm in charge of this organization. Let's be real. The only other person in the organization that's higher than Kyle Shanahan is Jed York.
Probably.
No, that's just a fact. If Kyle Shanahan wants something done, the only person that's going to tell him no is Jed York, the owner of the football team. So that's where I'm pissed. That's where I'm like, look, I understand the alignment and all that, and Kyle Shanahan knows way more about football than me. But sometimes it's just like, look, dude, I got a big ass fucking dude. And sometimes, you know what, as Eric Davis says, sometimes my X is better than your O.
Yeah, like I said, you were talking about like when you want to put two big dogs in the fight, like you were talking about Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
You put Aaron Donald on that edge, and then you put Trent Williams. If Aaron Donald can beat Trent Williams, okay. Because honestly, you got the two biggest dogs in the fight right there.
Yeah. You tip your cap and you say that's a Hall of Fame player making a Hall of Fame play.
Right now, I'm following Trent. I don't give a damn who's on the other side.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like you're not going to your best players in your biggest moments. Like I said, I would take losing to Aaron Donald. You know, if somehow Trent Williams gets pushed to the side or whatever, I'm like, they're probably going to go 50-50. I would take that 50-50 every time with those two.
Which, okay, I can understand. Let's be real. And since we're talking about it, let's give Trent Williams the fucking Macho Man of the Year award for being like that man was walking on one leg. He was the walking dead out there. Okay, so fine. You say that. That's cool. But you know what I say to that? I go up to him and I say, hey, big dog, I know. Give me one more, baby. We'll pull you out to get whatever. But just give me one more. Give me one more, and we got this bitch.
And you got 2 weeks to rest for the Super Bowl.
You got 2 weeks right? for the Super Bowl. Give me one more, big dog. And I guarantee you, Trent Williams would have looked at him, Kyle Shanahan in the eye and said, I got you, coach. And he would have got it done. Yep. And know what?
Just like when Debo was like, give me the ball.
It's the same reason. It's the same thing.
Right behind.
I will say until the day I go to my grave. Super Bowl 47. I give the ball to Frank Gore 4 times in a row and say, look, if you stop the best running back in Niner history, one of the best running backs to ever play 4 times from 3 yards out, you deserve this championship, Baltimore.
We didn't even try.
If you stop Frank Gore, the man who I think I could probably count on 1 time who was stopped for a loss in his career, if you stop him 4 times from 3 yards out from 12 feet, that's all Frank's got to go to get a championship for us. Fine, Baltimore, you deserve this championship. You do. At that point, I would have.
Of that same situation, look at the next year with the Seahawks. What did they do? Yep. They had the Marshawn Lynch, and that offensive line that year was legit. And what did they do? They put the ball in Russ's hands, and they failed.
I would have bet.
I would have gone with Marshawn 4 times right up the middle, and I would have taken that one any day. Yeah, just like
I'll never forget. I was with an acquaintance of mine. His name's TJ as well. He's from Tacoma, Washington, I believe. But I'm diehard Seahawks fan. Diehard Seahawks fan. Diehard Seahawks fan, like legit. Like he's not a 12, he's a legit Seahawks fan. And I remember literally thinking to myself, these motherfuckers are going to win back-to-back championships. And I remember I was just about to look at him and be like, I got to give respect's due, bruh. I literally was turning to tell him that when Russ threw that pick. I'll never forget that a day as I don't know.
It seems like they try and get fancy with it. It's like, look, man, you got bread and butter. Yeah, they know it's coming. But if it's good, bring it.
And so that's my thing. That's my thing about this is that I tell people trying to be the realist I am is to say, look, do I believe that the Niners can get better than Kyle Shanahan? No, I don't. But do I believe that Kyle Shanahan has his flaws? Yes.
We need to bring in an offensive consultant.
Yes.
Someone to like
and you know what? What I pray is I pray that it's Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, he could take some of that pressure off, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I pray that it's Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn with what he can do with a mobile quarterback because he's had one before.
Oh my!
I mean, come on, Kyle. Let the ego go a little bit and learn a little bit from Anthony, man. Come on,
please. Because what I'm hoping this is which ultimately why I've always put my faith in Lynchahan is that if they see it, it's not like they're not blind to our issues as fans. It's not like they don't see what we see and they address it. Now, could you argue that they address it in the wrong way? Yes. You could say that they've made some mistakes, but they've attacked the issue. In 2017, they knew the pass rush was an issue. They knew that.
They built one.
Now they thought Cassius Marsh was the answer. I remember Kyle Shanahan's press conference. Hey, you got to be pretty good to beat out Cassius Marsh, and everything like that. And you know what? It was a mistake, but they saw the need. 2019, they literally know that our biggest need is pass rush. What do? They trade and sign D Ford. They draft Nick Bosa. Did the D Ford thing work out like we all wanted it to? Not necessarily.
About 5 plays.
But hey, look, we're 3rd and 16 away from D Ford trade being totally worth it. Let's be real.
His money is guaranteed today, by the way.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that one. So because anyway, we backed ourselves in the corner with that contract. That's just it's a bad trade. There's nothing we can do to salvage it.
The trade wasn't bad. The contract was bad.
Yeah, okay. You could say the contract. Okay, I'll fully agree with that. All right, moving on. Carries leader. We were all wrong about Trey Sermon. I think we all said Trey Sermon.
Nobody even thought about like who's Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. Rushing yards.
Even something we're thinking maybe like it would even out between him and Wilson, maybe.
Yeah, bruh. Listen to this one. This one's particularly bad. All 3 of us picked Raheem Mostert to be the yards leader for this season, which I'll back it. We're laughing about this because it's fun now in hindsight, but let's be real. There's nobody out there that would have argued against us that saying that Raheem Mostert was going to be.
You maybe could have gotten the hype behind Trey Sermon, which obviously we did.
Yeah.
But at the same
time, show me a receipt that says that you had Elijah Mitchell breaking the franchise record, rookie rushing yard record this season, and I'll buy you a fucking Elijah Mitchell jersey. How about that? If somebody can,
I'll double down and go half on it. Yeah, I'll go half on it. They can actually prove.
Okay, fine. Me and Jason will go half on buying a fucking. If you could prove us before the season started that you had Elijah Mitchell being the yardage leader for the Niners, and you could bring us a receipt, Jason and I will go half on a jersey. Elijah Mitchell.
There might be one person, but he's probably talking out of his ass, honestly.
Yeah.
There's no way you could have thought that.
There's no way you would have thought that. Receiving yards leader, I had BA. You had Debo, and Brian had BA. I'll cover BA real quick. Do I think that Kyle Shanahan mishandled BA this season? No. And I'm only going to say no because whatever he did clearly worked. But if BA would have gone the Dante Pettis route, I think we would have started to have to take a look at Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, we would have had to start like, okay, fine. You know, he can't take tough love, whatever it is. But, you know, isn't it your job as a head coach to know how to coach your players, to know which players you can get hard on, which ones you can put in the doghouse and which ones you can't? That's kind of your job as head coach. You know, that's kind of your job as a head coach is to know the
hire someone
personality
that
of your
does.
player.
And
Or
tells
hire
you,
somebody
hey,
that does.
yeah,
Exactly.
hey, you can't treat him like him because he's going to get all soft and mushy about it. And this
Yeah,
guy's going to,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly. And fine, if you say, well, then we don't want San Francisco 49ers who bury their head in the sand if they face a little criticism or get in the doghouse or anything like that. Okay, then you know what? Maybe you need to do a little bit more research on the players that you're drafting then. You know, at that point then. Brian, Jason, I'll let you. I don't know why the fuck I just said Brian. Jason, I'll let you go ahead and talk about. I was wrong about Debo. I'll come out and I'll say it on this show. I was open to trading Debo for Julio Jones. Thank God Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch did not listen to me. Jason, take it away. Talk about Debo.
Look, honestly, nobody expected this out of Debo.
No.
You know, I expected Debo to bounce back because he heard all the criticism, all that bullshit from the year before and everything like that. You know, oh, he's out of shape. You know, it started in South Carolina, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Debo's going to bounce back. Debo's going to have himself a year as a wide receiver. Apparently, Debo is just the best offensive weapon in the damn league. Debo plays offense or he plays wide receiver. I think I've seen him line up at tight end a few times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh, they probably lined up over.
What's I'm saying is like I specifically remember him lining up like right next to Trent. I'm like, what? To Trent. I'm like, why the hell is Debo lined up next to Trent and going down in 3-point stance? What the hell is going on? Oh, he played running back. And he didn't actually. I don't think he actually took a snap, but he damn near threw a touchdown.
Yeah, no, he damn near threw a touchdown. Yeah, he damn near threw a touchdown this year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so he did everything. Tell me what he didn't do. Like I said, he went from being the best. You know, and the joke was he went from the best wide receiver to the best running back, to the best quarterback. I mean, he's just a weapon that I don't think the league has even come close to seeing anything like this, even since like Cordell Stewart with the Steelers back in the day.
Yeah.
He had, good old Slash Stewart.
Yeah,
I loved it. That dude was badass.
Yeah, he was. My uncle's a huge Steelers fan, so I know Cordell Stewart quite well.
Yeah, my brother's a big Steelers fan. So
yeah,
and I don't think we've seen necessarily the end of it. Now, I would like us to back off of it some.
Yeah.
Debo played his ass off. And I don't think we can ride him like that again for more than, as much as he's going to say, Kyle, give me the ball.
Yeah.
We need to save him a little bit because you could tell the man was tired and he was busting his ass. So we need to find something else to balance it out.
The thing that most impressed, look, I called Debo out. I said this year was going to decide at least Debo's tenure as a Niner. I did.
I can't argue that.
I think I was justified. I think let's not speak on hindsight after he just had the season that he had. Let's speak about before the season when he has a good rookie year, sophomore slump, injury prone, hamstring issue, broken foot, all that. Let's speak on that. There was reasons to question Debo, especially when it's pretty obvious. We're probably only going to be able to keep him or BA. I remember this issue coming down with the Giants. A big discussion between Giants fans was would you if it came down to it, because there was a lot of belief that they would only be able to keep Matt Cain or Tim Lincecum. I was Timmy all the way. I was big time Timmy Jim.
You're talking about the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, San Francisco Giants. My
I'm
bad.
I don't know these guys in New York.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot. I'm so used to people in the Bay just knowing when I say Giants.
I just don't watch baseball.
The baseball Giants. I was big time. To me, Tim Lincecum is the closest I've seen to God in a pitcher on a pitcher mound. I mean, to me, the man was literally they called him the freak. Let Tim smoke. Anyway, I was justified. But what Debo showed me is worth ethic. He's wide back, all that. But what Debo showed me is that he fucking cares, because Debo was broken down after that NFC Championship game. And I know how he felt, because Debo felt how I felt after 2019, after going through every training camp practice, after going to all but one home game, after going to all the watch parties for the road games, after just everything that I had poured into 2019, and to be so close and to come up just short. Yeah, I felt like Debo did. I knew exactly why Debo was crying. And to me, that gets me so fired up as a Niner fan, because that shows me that he cares as much as I do. That his heart, he's wearing his heart on the sleeve when it comes to this football team. And that's people who I want to be a longtime Niner. I don't want people who are in it for the money. I don't want people in it because they even love football. I want people who love being a Niner, who say being a San Francisco 49er, wearing, as Eric Davis would say, putting on these colors and representing this organization, one of the greatest organizations in sports. And let's be real, in Debo's, well, maybe not in Debo's lifetime, but in a lot of our lifetimes, this is the, crown jewel. I mean, let's be real. For the last 10 years, we've either sucked or made it to the Super Bowl, or at least the NFC Championship. Let's be real. What other team could you say that's either been garbage or game the Super Bowl or game from the Super Bowl? Like, you can't say that about any other franchise. Debo, to me, man, let's start it right here, right now, Jason. Hashtag pay Debo. We had hashtag pay Kittle Cord. We had hashtag pay Bam Bam. And now we're hashtag pay Debo.
Hey, Debo, Jay Bosa, DJ Jones.
Yes.
This list is getting pretty long.
Yeah. This is who I am. I'm Debo, Nick Bosa, Lincoln Tomlinson, and DJ Jones. If you wanted to bring me back an Arden Key, or, well, I should say Major. I think we'll be able to get Arden Key, because I think he'll come in on a 2-year. Like, I think he'll come in on prove it deal. I think we'll be able to get Arden Key. I don't see him getting that.
Someone would have to just throw him a stupid amount of money. Honestly,
he would have to get blown out, where he'd be like, "Look,
I'm sorry.
I can't go home to my wife and tell her that I just rejected this contract.
I just gave up $8 extra million a year.
Yeah, I can't go to my wife and my kids and my daughter and I don't know if he has children or a wife, but my mother who's got, whatever. I can't go to my family and say, hey, look, I literally just turned down this contract to stay in San Francisco.
Basically an A-Rod to the Yankees or to the Rangers kind of a thing from Seattle.
Exactly, yeah.
Bye.
It would be irresponsible as a man to turn that type of money.
You're talking about generational wealth.
Generational. We're talking about your great grandkids, probably generations that you'll never meet, being able to live off of your money like that. That's, I'm sorry. I try to get a little attached to players and everything like that, but I really try to understand, unless it's like Patrick Marleau leaving the Sharks, when he was literally Mr. Shark.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Jason got
I got that one.
I'm a firm believer. I'm sorry I will never burn a Niner jersey or Sharks jersey. Like, I'll give it to somebody. I'll put it on a park bench, whatever, but I just don't burn. I can't do that. That's sacrilegious to me.
Stupid.
But I ain't gonna lie, the closest I ever came to burning a jersey was Patrick Marleau's after he left the Sharks. I was not.
See,
cool
and we're talking about an amount of money me and you can't fathom.
Yeah, we can't fathom.
We know what like $10 million is. I get it. I don't know what it's like to have that in a bank account. Like, I can't fathom.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Like, let's be real. Probably at one time, the most money I've been able to like physically hold in my hand at one time was probably $13,000 at one time.
I think I had like 12 grand in my hand at one point, something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
When the pandemic happened and we all were getting those $600 extra checks and stuff like that, I was saving $1,000 per check, and I had at some point I had $13,000 at one point. That was probably the most money I've ever had. Like, I could have gone to the strip club and made it rain or whatever.
Yeah, but now we're talking about millions. It's like, I don't fathom that much money, and I don't think you can until you actually have it.
Yeah, no, it is. I don't even know what $1 million even fucking looks like. Let's be real. I haven't even probably made close to $1 million in my lifetime. No. All right, moving on. Touchdown leader, rushing touchdown leader. We have, let me see, we did carries, rushing, Trey Sermon. Jason had Jeff Wilson. You know, Jeff Wilson kind of had a little quiet season. I don't think we've heard the last from El Jefe.
I was expecting him to come on more after because obviously we thought Mostert was going to be there.
Yeah,
and we knew Mostert breaks down. We didn't expect him to break down. 3 plays into the season.
Literally, I think wasn't it his first carry?
Something like that.
Yeah,
but it's like I expected. Mostert was going to run hard. We're going to ride Mostert really hard for the beginning of the season, and then we'd bring Wilson in. And then, we push him really hard, give Mostert, because of the whole IR rules, just throw him on IR for 3 weeks, let him rest, and he'd come back. And then we throw in Jamal McCasey. We put in, Trey Sermon, some kid named Elijah Mitchell. And then Mostert, Mostert would come back for the postseason, and we'd be good to go.
Yeah.
And we use Wilson on short yardage more.
Yeah, I fully thought that Jeff Wilson was going to be the – matter of fact, I think we talked about it when he got hurt. That he was going to come back and he was going to be our reinforcement and it was going to be a blessing. One of those things that's a blessing in disguise type of situation. Yep. Okay. Catch leader. Brian picked Debo. So, BA and Kittlecorn for us. We've talked about them. Receiving yards leader. I had BA. Jason had Debo. Brian had BA. We've gone over that. Touchdown catches. I had, man, listen how crazy I was. I was high this day. I had Trent Serfield leading the team with touchdown catches.
Hey, coming out preseason.
Yeah, I was totally riding that preseason hype, bro.
He might have got 10 plays all season.
Oh God, I was riding that. But I love him.
But
as a special
team,
team,
on special teams, though.
Yeah, I would totally bring him in as a special teamer. I totally would.
I'd take him over Sanu as the 4th or whatever there for next year. We gotta get rid of Sanu.
I'd rather have Juwan Jennings. I'm big on.
I'm putting Jennings at 3rd.
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 BA, Debo, and Jennings.
Juwan Jennings, yeah.
I'd be down with that if we didn't sign a veteran or something or draft a receiver or something like that shows some promise. Yeah, I'd be.
Why would you?
I'd be for that.
All the promise in Jennings right now. Plus, contract, he can't negotiate with anybody else. He either plays for us or he sits.
Yeah, I'm not advocating for drafting a receiver.
I think we will.
I would do you. I literally think Juwan Jennings is the next KB.
He's already there.
He's the next KB. And so I'm perfectly okay. So I don't think that anybody before last year would have been mad at BA, Debo, and KB. So I don't think that you're getting that much of a drop off going Debo, BA, and JJ. I don't. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. Let's see, catches leader, comeback player. Let's see. I picked Mike Mcglinchey. I will say this: before he got hurt, Mike Mcglinchey was having a decent season.
He was having a damn good season. He was. Trent was number 1, and he was like number 6 or something like that.
Yeah, like I think
something crazy like that.
I think what the faithful really need to understand is Mike Mcglinchey is what we fucking drafted him to be.
Running
pass blocker and an elite run blocker. Why did we draft a tackle that was a pass blocker and an elite run blocker? Because we want to run the fucking football. What wins in December and January? Running the fucking football.
Not to mention, we probably expected a little bit more out of Aaron Banks.
There you go.
Help solidify that side of the line.
There you go.
We solidify that side of the line and everything else, and then it's a lot better. I mean,
yeah,
Brunskill wasn't bad at all. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but that was definitely the weak side of the line.
Yeah, he because Brunskill's a utility player. He's a 6th offensive lineman, and that's perfect. He's perfect for that role. I have no problem, Daniel Brunskill being our utility Swiss Army knife. We say it almost. We've said it since 2019. Where would we have been this season without Daniel Brunskill? Where would we have been? And still, I will dare to say that he is still Aaron Donald's daddy because okay, they beat us, whatever it is. They did not beat us because Aaron Donald.
No,
Aaron Donald did not wreck that game.
He had a few plays, but overall
he had a few plays, which is going to happen. But he did not wreck that game plan. He did not wreck our game plan, and it wasn't, it's not what it was thought.
Aaron Donald wasn't even that great in the Super Bowl. I mean, granted, he made a huge play at the end to win it for him, but even in the Super Bowl overall, he wasn't great.
Yeah, which I would put, from what I heard, I would put Nick Bosa's Super Bowl better than his. And Nick Bosa
in overall performance, yes, but Donald comes up on top because he made the play.
The play, yeah. Let's be real. Aaron Donald made the play. Nick Bosa did it. Nick Bosa gets that sack on 3rd and 16. Like we all thought.
It's like the whole 29 season in a nutshell. Overall, we had the best team top to bottom. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs had the best player on the field in Patrick Mahomes.
No, he didn't. Yeah, exactly. He didn't.
What?
Okay. So, Jason said the faithful.
I was wrong on that one.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to go down that road because
we're not going down that road.
We might lose viewers if I start going down that road.
Yeah,
I'm mad at some motherfuckers right now.
We're
I
love this fan
base right now.
I will say this: no fan base is more passionate about their football team than us. Now that might be idiotic. There's some fucking idiots out there and shit like that, but you cannot deny that I would put our love for a football team. Because I'm telling you this, I was in LA in week 18. We took that shit over, bro.
Oh yeah, it was literally obvious on TV. Watching it, I'm thinking,
that's ridiculous what the Empire does.
And in the playoffs,
it's ridiculous. And the playoffs. I'm sorry, Dallas wasn't a takeover, but there were 9. I wouldn't say that was a takeover, but that Green Bay game, that was fair, and
there was more in Green Bay than I expected. Just
there was.
When you Green Bay fans are legit.
Well, yeah, because let's be real. What else is there to fucking do on a Saturday night in Green Bay, Wisconsin, when it's -3? What the fuck else are you going to do in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Which is cool, fine. I'm not knocking them for that, but come holler at me when you live in San Francisco, bruh. And there's actually other shit.
My wife might still be mad at me for that game.
Huh?
My wife might still be mad at me at that game.
I was thinking about you.
She was mad.
Oh, I was thinking about you too. I was thinking about you, and
because me, I was in her face like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
The next morning, I was like, "We won."
Hey, I'll put it this way: this is why Jason's a stronger man than I am. Because I'm telling you, if Cleany would have been a Whackers fan, or if she would have been a Yams fan, our relationship probably doesn't go past either that game or the NFC Championship game. I'm here to tell you that.
Pro hint: just break up with them that day. That's what we do. I woke up that morning. I was like, here's our marriage.
There you go.
Anytime they play, it's like, look, I'm single today. Come at me, ladies.
Come at me, ladies. Get some victory. Anyway. So we'll wrap it up. Or no, we got one more sack leader. None of us picked Nick Bosa for comeback. I think that's because we all agreed. Sack leader, Bosa. Jason had Ebukam, who I'm going to say
on that one.
He wasn't D Ford, but I don't think it was a bad signing.
No, it was 75% of what it should have been, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
especially he started coming on towards the end.
Yeah. Brian picked Nick Bosa. Interceptions leader, I had Jimmy. You know what? Let me actually look that up. I actually don't know, but I believe it was Jimmy Ward that led the team in picks this year. Let me see. Team. I should have probably looked this up before. My bad, y'all. Stats. Top defense, tackles, interceptions. Jimmy Ward with 1. No, that can't be right because
He had to have more than one.
Yeah, because he had 2 against the. Okay, whatever. They must have did it wrong, but we'll say Jimmy Ward. I believe. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I can't even think of anybody who had a pick besides Jimmy Ward this year.
Norman.
Okay, there you go. There
Norman
you
had
go.
a couple.
I
think Mosley had one beginning of the season, I want to say.
Okay, we'll have to go back and double check that, but we'll.
Ambry Thomas had one.
Yeah, Ambry Thomas had one. There you go. Hey, biggest one of the season. Biggest one of the season. Jason picked Brian picked E-Man, and Jason picked Bam Bam. Let's talk about Fred Warner. Because did Fred Warner have a great season to his standards? No. But did Fred Warner become a true leader of this football team? Where and be honest, we're saying, yeah, that contract weighed on me. I was trying to be everything. Because I promise you, nobody is more dedicated to this football team than Fred Warner. Nobody loves this football team than Fred Warner. And when he looked into the camera in his end of the season press conference and said, I will return better next year, I don't believe 99.9% of shit that was said in that press conference by anybody. If I only believe one thing that was said out of any of those press conferences, is that Fred Warner is going to come back better and better, bigger, better, and better next year. Jason, thoughts about Bam Bam?
I have a controversial take on Bam Bam. And that is, while I agree with you with how good he plays, I'm getting a little tired of him tackling somebody after a 5-yard gain and getting up and act like he just sacked somebody to win the Super Bowl. I'm getting a little bit tired of it's like, bring it in a little bit, man. Like, yeah, you made a good tackle, but they just got 5 yards. You know, it's just like, I'm getting a little tired of that. And it's throughout the entire NFL.
Yeah.
I want one of my captains to have a little bit more restraint. You know, you want to say somebody like Nick Bosa's a little bit boisterous because he's still young and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I understand, you know, Fred isn't like some, 10-year vet or anything that's been playing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I expected a little bit more, I guess, class isn't the word because I don't think it's not classy.
Yeah, I don't think it's class.
I don't think it's classless. Like, it's just restraint. Like,
yeah,
look,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want anybody to take it that I'm saying, like, oh, he's being classless because of what he does. I don't think it's that. He's just emotional. And
yeah.
It's just
very emotional.
Yeah, just bring it in a little bit, man.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
You need to be the one to focus the defense more than celebrating a tackle after a couple yards. That's my only thing. It's like, but it's also across the NFL. Like, I'm tired of everybody running down to the end zone after a damn fucking pick.
That's the thing that gets me. That's really the thing that really honestly pisses me off. Like, I can understand Super Bowl, but didn't we learn our lesson from the Super Bowl?
Exactly. See, it's like
didn't we?
It sucks since then, man. It's just
like I'm with you on that running to the end zone for the pose and everything like that. Like, I'm with you. I could live without, and not trying to be, no fun police and all that and everything like that. But I'm with you on that. I'm over that.
Save that for the actual big games. And I'm not, every interception's a big play, but you save that one to win a game.
Yeah. Make a pick to win us the Super Bowl, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Tart catches that one, run the fucking out the stadium for all I give a shit.
All I give a shit. You can take off your jersey, take off your pants.
That's when you do that.
Shit, I'll join you. What's up, Jaquaski? You know what I'm saying? I'll join you, bro.
That I get. But
I fully agree with you on that, Jason. Okay. Trey to start. We don't need to go over that.
Started.
He did.
He did
biggest concern. I broke Robbie Gould. Boy, was I wrong.
Oh, he came through this season. He don't give a damn if you're getting ready in your introductions.
Yeah.
Have you seen that meme where he was like, "You wish Robbie Gould was in the Super Bowl to kick a field goal like with Dre and Snoop and all that?"
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine him doing that shit? Fuck your halftime show.
Quarterback rotation, and Brian said DC.
DC
You know
was
what?
wrong on that one.
Before we get into the that one and our last one, which is record prediction, how do you feel that D'Amico Ryans did his first season as D coordinator?
He's going to be the head coach next season. I'm surprised.
I think so too. I think so too.
Had we gone to the Super Bowl, he'd have been head coach. He'd have been announced as the Vikings head coach by the end of the week.
I think so too. Well, he's the one that turned down their interview.
Oh, Smiley, you're saying DeMarco? I cannot not say.
You know, he's not talking. He posted that a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I think that's when we were. I think that's when we were talking about Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay. I just have to switch over.
Yeah. I forgot to highlight it and talk about it and everything like that.
Yeah, he's going to be a head coach next season. Whether we are a terrible team or a good team, he's going to. I mean, minus us going, winning 3 or 4 games, he's going to be a head coach next season. He's earned it.
I don't put a lot of where there's some bumps in the road. I'm sure,
Oh, he did, especially in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the season, but that's okay because I expected the offense to step it up. I thought that, but I mean, the man literally had us being one of the best defenses in the league. There were times this season where we looked probably closer to 2019 than we ever have since then.
And he never called plays before.
Huh?
That to me is the most impressive part. He never called plays before this year, so that's a hell of a learning curve to learn. They're like, oh, by the way, you're a DC, and now you're calling plays.
And it's not even calling plays because he was a middle linebacker. So that's not. But it's the in-game adjustments.
Yeah, which
that's where
Saleh
I think
never
he
did
improved on the most. I think that's where Saleh was a master at it. I think that's where he improved the most. But I do think that he needs some improvement.
Saleh never changed. Never had in-game adjustments.
He did.
He kept trying to put a square through a ball. Huh?
The Yams game. Yams.
Okay, we give him 1 or 2 times. Most of the time, he just tried out the same shit over and over. And I loved Saleh, but he was stubborn as fuck when it came to doing in-game adjustments.
I will put it to you this way: Robert Saleh's stubbornness, I won't say cost us the Super Bowl, but cost us that 3rd and 16. Because they said they knew exactly what coverage we were going to be in and what exact play call to call.
He's almost like a version of Kyle. He's so confident in how smart he is, he outthinks himself.
Yeah, and it's just very. I mean, because let's be real, where does he come from? He comes from the Shecock tree.
Yeah.
And what's the Shecock's defense? Look,
same thing over and over.
You know what we're going to play. You know what we're playing. But you're just not going to beat it over and over. Our players are too good. The Legion of Doom and all that, they were just too good. So it didn't matter if you knew what defense they were in. Their players were just going to make plays. And then the last thing that we had, I had us 13-4. God, was I wrong. Jason had us at 12-5, which was pretty reasonable. Considering all things considering, and Brian had us at 14-3. Overall, I think as we wrap this up, we're gonna go ahead and go. I mean, you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and run a quick Twitch break, and then we'll go ahead and we'll be back in 3 minutes. While we're on Facebook, we're still live on Facebook and YouTube. Are we having any? Yeah, we got one YouTube and one Twitch. Why don't y'all put us in the comments there's 2 people watching. If y'all want to, why don't you put in the comments on what you thought about the season overall? I'm not too disappointed when you get all things considered. All things considered, we made the playoffs, which finally we can say that Shanahan can put together back-to-back winning season, or not back-to-back, but, it's not going to be that whole only one reading season, his whole,
Yeah.
I think what we saw was 2019 wasn't a fluke. We're a good football team. We're a good coaching staff. We have our issues. We have our flaws, but we're a good coaching staff. I don't think that, I understand Richard Hightower left to be special teams coordinator in Chicago.
Is that really a loss, though? Let's be honest.
Yeah, on a personal note, I was ready to fire him. Honestly,
I was ready halfway through the season.
Yeah, I was. I was willing to accept that the Green Bay call saved his job, which apparently I've heard rumors that it was the same call. The call that got the block, I guess is what we're calling it, the block. Was the same call that we had put on when the Seahawks ran that fake and scored the touchdown. It was the same exact call. So, I'm going to say this. If we would have brought him back, I would have been mad. Okay, fine. The block saved your job. But yeah, let's be real. Special teams
on a very short leash.
Yeah, very short. Special teams have been an issue to Kyle Shanahan's whole tenure. Let's be real. They have.
He's been the special teams coach the whole time, right?
The whole time.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so honestly, yeah. Also, another note, you're a lot up to date with things too. I know that Vic Fangio had a meeting with John Lynch. Have you heard anything that's came out of that?
The only thing I've heard is that he's not going to coach this season. Anybody. He's decided to just take the season off from coaching from anybody, unless, I mean, I guess you could, just like anything else, you throw him enough money, he might say yes.
Yeah.
But overall, he's not going to coach at all. There's things pointing that he will be the consultant to the Niners, which when you think about it,
I'm all down for that.
If Ryan is going to leave next year, more than likely, let's be honest, there's a 95% chance, or actually probably more like 99, that he's going to leave next year to be a head coach somewhere.
Yeah.
We just kind of slide Fangio right in there.
You stole the words right out of my mouth, brother. That's exactly what I was thinking.
But here's the thing. Here's the question. Is he going to learn the 4-3 because that's the way we're built right now?
Yeah.
Or is he going to try and restructure it to be the 3-4?
And Nick Bosa does not need to be an outside linebacker.
No, he doesn't.
He does not need to be an outside linebacker.
No. I think he needs to learn how to call a 4-3.
Yeah, I do too. I think that, look, let's be real. I've said this many times on the show, and I'll say it again. The problem wasn't firing Jim Harbaugh. There were football issues with Jim Harbaugh, and I've heard from a Niner who was on Harbaugh, I believe, came the year Harbaugh came, matter of fact. I heard from him that there were players in that locker room that Harbaugh lost. Harbaugh lost some of that locker room. So there were football issues with Jim Harbaugh. The mistake wasn't firing Jim Harbaugh. The mistake was not hiring Vic Fangio as head coach. I should say promoting.
Keeping bulky, too.
Yeah, keeping bulky. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, fine. Keeping bulky and not promoting. That's just spam. Apologize about that, y'all. And not keeping Vic and not promoting Vic Fangio to head coach. That's I literally think where things got disarrayed, because I don't think Justin Smith retires and I don't think Patrick Willis retires if Vic Fangio is kept. And even if Patrick Willis retired, I don't think Chris Moreland would have retired. I think
because you would have the respect of Fangio.
Fine. Would we have gone 7-9 that first, or 9-7 that first year instead of 5-11 in 2015? Okay, maybe. Maybe it was time to return the roster. We were a fairly old roster.
We don't go through two coaches in 2 seasons.
But we don't go through two coaches in 2 seasons. That's for damn sure. And fine, maybe you find out that he might be like Mama Debbie posted in the 408 Empire group. What did Mama Debbie have to say? Okay, whatever. We'll look at that. Hey, what's up, media? How you doing, brother? We're actually just about to wrap up as soon as we come back. Oh, we're back from break.
I was like, we have to be back for a minute.
Oh, okay. I get, me, bro. I get distracted. You know what? Why don't you tell us what were your thoughts of the season, bro? Go ahead and give us
bipolar. I mean, I think overall it's a great season, but there were times where it was ugly. It was very ugly. Just overall I think overall everybody did an awesome job, and players, coaches, everybody. You know, for the start that we had, the injuries and this and that and everything else that was going on. I think getting to the NFC Championship game, if you had told me week 8 we were going to make the NFC Championship game, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
You know, but they did it.
As a wild card.
Yeah.
As a wild card.
Let alone, a couple bounces of here and there. We're in, we take the number 1 seed out from the NFC West. So,
yeah.
But yeah, just overall, like I said, I'm proud of this group of guys. And like I said, this was a hell of a ride. It was a roller coaster.
We'll get
you can't really describe it anything else but that,
Yeah.
And like I said, this team is built to win. We're a few spots away, and I can see what he wrote.
Yeah,
and I agree.
I would agree.
And I think we have the quarterback part figured out, depending on if you
who our backup is. Which, let's be real. Look, let's be real.
Why not bring Tom Brady in?
Tom Brady's not being a backup.
No.
Oh, to start?
To start. Why would you not? Okay, if Brady legit comes here and he's willing to take a smaller contract, which he's done his entire career to put teams around him, why would you not want Trey to learn from the greatest of all time? I know me and you argue between Brady and Montana and blah, 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 but why do you not want him to learn from Brady?
Oh, I will admit, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback I've watched with my own 2 eyes.
So if you get Brady in here for 1 season and you sit Trey another, because Trey is still a little raw. As much as I love Trey and what his potential is, he's still raw. So, and then you get to learn behind, unless Jimmy taught him pretty good. Jimmy's not, as far as Jimmy can teach him how to be the leader style quarterback, because the team loves Jimmy.
Yeah.
That
was very clear this season. The team loved Jimmy Garoppolo.
So what if Trey learns from Jimmy how to lead, and then he learns how to play football from Tom Brady kind of thing?
Why would you learn how to be a pocket quarterback?
No, just learn how to be a quarterback.
Well, yeah,
preparation, not even how, because they're not going to play the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You teach Trey how to prep like Tom Brady, and I'm not necessarily talking about eating avocado ice cream and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But if he wants to, whatever.
Yeah,
but Tom Brady's prep, shit, I'm down for that for a year. I don't mind putting off Trey for a year for that.
Yeah. So overall, I would say this: 2 things can be great. Was it a great season? I mean, is this going to be one of the greatest seasons in Niner history? No.
It's borderline.
It can't be at least number 6. It just has to be number 6 at least. Just bar none. And then we'll start the conversation from there. Which it's not number 6. I would put 97 above this year, just off the top of my head. But am I proud of my football team? Extremely. Am I proud to be a Niner fan? Am I proud to be able to say my team did not quit? My team went out there week after week when it was dark and it was bleak and a lot of people would have fucking packed it in. My football team didn't quit. Yes, and I am extremely proud of my football team for that. I am proud of my football team this year. Spartacus, up and down season for sure. Super inconsistent. Great that we were able to turn it around though and make it to the NFC ship. Fully agree. Need secondary and QB. I would say secondary is a key issue.
I think it's in place. It just needs to stay healthy.
So you do Tart, Ward, E-Man, and Thomas, and then do you bring back K1 or do you say Diamador? You go ahead and you.
That's where I think it gets a little iffy. Like I said, that's the part because I'd have to see what their money is for K1.
Yeah, okay. I would see that.
But if you told me that was the starting secondary and they stayed healthy, when this group was healthy, they were damn good.
Yeah, I could take that. Say, hey, we'll give up the learning curve that's going to come, with Emory Thomas in year 2, because he's still not going to be fully developed,
No.
year 2. But we'll take the learning curve and just put our money like we've done since 2019, which is, hey, you know what, our secondary really isn't going to be an issue because you're not going to have the time to expose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'd roll with that. I'd roll with that. I don't. It's not like I'm not a Jaquaski Tart fan. Just
No,
to me,
I love him in Ward. I love the two of them
I
guys.
love him in Ward, and I do think that their lack of turnovers. Okay, yeah, you could say, of course, in the NFC Championship game wasn't an issue that Jaquaski Tart hasn't had a pick since Kyle Shanahan's first game as head coach, I believe. Yeah,
It's
but
been a minute.
let's not off the top of my head. Maybe I might be mistaken on that, but that's the first one that comes to my head. The one arm falling back. But let's not forget the shit auto play where he basically punked DK Metcalf for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget the 75-yard play. But let's be real. I don't think we win that game in Green Bay if they score a touchdown right there.
Yeah.
I don't think we come back 14-0 in Green Bay. So yeah, I'm okay with the secondary. I know that we need
healthy
for it because
if we stay still healthy.
Okay, cool. It's healthy. I agree with you on that. But
both Ward and Tart have those the history. So
yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna say, you're gonna tell me that Jaquaski Tart and Jimmy Ward both are gonna stay healthy for a full season? That's not happening.
Well, that's why you have Fufanga back there. And
cool.
Bring back more.
Awesome. Bring in somebody to compete. Whatever. But the wifey is giving me the call for dinner. So she's been patient enough, and we are making up for Valentine's Day tonight. So, Jason, any final thoughts before we bid adieu?
No, I think we just covered everything. Like I said, good season overall. We got a few holes to fill for next season, and we'll see what comes up when we got what kind of draft picks we get for Jimmy, and then we'll see where we go for next season.
Yeah, we'll probably start looking at that because the rumors I've heard is he's gone before the 16th.
Yep.
And
and
if
the Commanders, and that's the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, you had a home run with Red Tails. You hit every box. But anyways,
yeah. Anyway, we digress.
If they're willing to give us a first, fuck. Bye, Jimmy. Bye. I'm sorry.
Bye, Felicia. Hey, look, I'll drive them to San Jose Airport my fucking self if they give us a first round pick.
I would have been happy with a second or a third, but if someone's
I'd be happy with a
low end first for it, hell yeah.
I'd run to the bank if it's a second with a conditional, a fourth that could turn into a third if he plays 17 games or 15 games or something like that.
Two straight up if they wanted to.
I'd run that to the bank if I was John Lynch.
Shit.
But if we can get a first, oh my God.
But when you think about it, the Commanders pick 15th. Jimmy is somewhere between 12 and 18, depending on how he plays for the best quarterback or the ranking for quarterbacks in the league, kind of a thing, roughly. 15 is right in the middle, so it kind of adds up value-wise for him.
Yeah, I would. I mean, is Jimmy a starting quarterback in the NFL? Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that. I don't even think he's a bottom tier. I think Jimmy's
a bridge.
I think he's a bridge. I think he's a ring below Kirk Cousins. I believe he's a ring below Kirk Cousins. I think that if we could have got Kirk Cousins here, do I believe in the right scenario? Do I believe that Kyle Shanahan and Kirk Cousins together can win a championship? Yeah, in the right scenario.
Kirk stays healthy.
And what's the let's be real. I mean, love Jimmy to death. The record speaks for itself. When he plays. That's the key. When he plays. So, we'll wrap it up at this. Do we make the playoffs in 2020 with Kirk Cousins as our quarterback?
In 2020?
Yeah.
So many injuries, man. That one is rough to say.
I say we make a wild card. I say make at least more of a push than we did.
I mean, because we weren't out of it until what, week 14, 15?
I believe it was after Washington game.
It was late. It was less than a
either
month
the
ago in the
Washington or
season.
the Buffalo game when we officially. But I'll put okay. Then let me rephrase it like this, and I think we'll both agree on this. Do we go into Week 17 of 2020 with a win and get in type of scenario with Kirk Cousins, or a win and some luck type of
I
scenario?
put money on it.
Yeah, I put money on that. I put money that Kirk Cousins, we could have been a win. I put money that if Jimmy would have stayed healthy in 2020.
Yeah,
we
I'd agree with you on that one too. Yeah.
Scenario. But that's the difference between Jimmy and Kirk Cousins. Kirk stays healthy, Jimmy doesn't.
Yeah.
And so
and Kirk's not even necessarily a better quarterback. He's just a healthier one.
He's just a healthier one. And you know what? Every football coach at any level will say, I'll get a player that I know what I'm going to get from a player that I know I'm going to get great things, but I don't know when I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I'll take the quarterback that I know what I can get, and I can game plan and adjust my game plan according to his strengths and weaknesses, than a quarterback that gives me everything, but I don't even know if he's going to start next week. You know. All right, y'all. We shall see you next week, Jason. We'll figure it all out. We will be on a consistent schedule from now on, y'all. I apologize about that. That is one of my bigger goals for NFR going into season 6. We will have more of a professional, a more professional together show. We're working on getting your boy a mic and the whole shebang, lights. We're gonna try to get this all hooked up. I appreciate y'all patience with me for the last 5 years. About fucking time. All right, Joe. We'll see you next week, Jason. All right, y'all. Before we get out of here, of course, y'all know I got to do this for y'all. Listen to the end of the show to get a special. Oh, wow, I already did that. Get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. It saves 10% and helps out the show. The link will be available in the description of this podcast or video, or scrolling across your screen right now. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Of course, follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang-up job. And of course, thank you for tuning in to the end of the show. As promised, the special end of this season discount code for 10% off of all For the Faithful by the Faithful apparel is Heartbroken. 10% excludes any on-sale items and cannot be used with any other coupon code. Expires midnight, March 16th of 2022. I shall see y'all. We shall see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and nappiness. Go Niners.
Montana steps up, throws.
See ya.